listening to America First Radio. Here is your host, Paul Adams.
Okay, folks, now we're going to get down to ground zero and talk about Mr. Trump a little bit here, because there is a connection between the lion, which is Israel, and Mr. Trump's being elected to the presidency of the United States. I had made a meme way back when the primary started, a meme of Donald Trump standing in front of a lion, and the caption was, Are you tired of the same old jackass and elephant routine? Instinctively, I knew he was a lion, and he was representing the American people, who are the lion, and also Israel. And newsflash, Israel does not refer to the Jews only, okay? There were 12 tribes that came out of Israel. Long story. And Jacob eventually adopted Ephraim and Manasseh, the two sons of Joseph. So there's actually 13 tribes. There's a connection between him, Donald Trump, and the Greater Israel Project, which is not about Judah, the tribe of Judah only, the Jews. In fact, if you read Chronicles, you'll find that the birthright went from Reuben, who had defiled his father's bed, to Joseph, and you will also discover that Joseph's two sons were directly heirs to the inheritance, to the birthright. So let's put it in perspective. Now back to Trump. He has been vilified as a racist. For those who claim Trump is a racist, there's evidence that he's anything but a racist. So here's some information. Let's start off with his family ties, okay? This is all in the news. Ivanka, as you know, is married to a Jewish man, Jared Kushner. And she has converted to Judaism. See, that for me alone would make the case. But I know some people, it's not enough. We need a little bit more evidence here. So let's build the case. Melania's mother reportedly is Jewish. She has a Jewish name. Her name is Amalijah Ulsnik. So Mr. Trump may be married to a Jewish princess. Then we have his daughter-in-law, Lara. She is Jewish. Moving on, his communications director, Michael Aboud, is Jewish. And all the other people I'm going to mention here are Jewish, so you can do your own research. Vice Chairman of the Trump Victory Committee, Mr. Elliot Brody. Ambassador Mel Sambler, former ambassador to Italy and Australia, who acts as a vice chair of the Trump Victory Committee. Mr. Paul Eschleitner, who heads Deutsche Bank, Mr. Trump's largest lender. You guessed it. Deutsche Bank is teetering right now. There's word that things are not going very well. If Deutsche Bank implodes, it would create a crater that's 500 times bigger than Lehman Brothers. Mr. Trump was endorsed by Sheldon Adelson. The executive vice president and special counsel of the Trump Organization is Michael Cohen. And incidentally, Mr. Trump also relied on the good advice of a mentor and attorney, Roy Cohen, back in the day. Mr. Cohen made his mark, gained his celebrity status when he defended Joe McCarthy during the second Red Scare, and Mr. Roy Cohen has passed away since in 1986. The president of Trump Desert Development is Jill Desert. The chairman of the Trump Victory Committee is Louis Eisenberg. Boris Epstein is a senior advisor to Trump. A member of the Trump Economic Advisory Group is Steven Feinberg. We're not done. We're not done. Trump's second largest lender, Ladder Capital, is headed by Alan Fishman. The co-chairman of the Israel Advisory Committee for Donald Trump is David Friedman. Nice Irish name. The vice chair of the Trump Victory Committee, another one, is Samuel Fox. The executive VP of the Trump Organization and general counsel is Alan Garten. The deputy campaign manager and former national political director is Michael Glassner. The executive VP of the Trump Organization and general counsel is Alan Garten. The executive VP of strategic development in the Trump Organization is Lawrence Glick. The executive VP and chief legal advisor of the Trump Organization and the co-chair of the Israeli Advisory Committee is Jason Greenblatt. The deputy policy director for Trump for president is Daniel Kowalski. And I know, this is not enough for some people. Okay, I get it. It's never enough. You just can't please them. You remind me of some of my ex-wives. No matter how you try, it's never enough. They just take and take and take. Okay, I gotta calm down here. You know, my ex-wives, they taught me one thing. Keep your sense of humor. No matter what happens, no matter what life dishes out to you, no matter how many times you are taken to the cleaners, no matter how many times you're down, keep your sense of humor. Back to the Donald, okay? This is not about me. Here's some more evidence. Corey Lewandowski, his former campaign manager. Well, yes, Corey is Jewish. The executive VP of Management and Development in the Trump Organization is Ronald Lieberman. Another member of the Trump Economic Advisory Council is Howard Lorber, as is David Malpass. The VP of Marketing for the Trump Organization is Amanda Miller. See, he's not a misogynist. The Chief Operating Officer is Eli Miller, and I sense he may be related to Amanda here. He may be her brother or cousin. Senior Communications Advisor is Jason Miller. Oh! And National Policy Director is Stephen Miller. Oy, oy, oy vey. Looks like it's a royal flush here. The National Finance Chairman of the Donald J. Trump for President is none other than Stephen Mnuchin. We know a little bit more about Mr. Mnuchin now that he has been appointed as Secretary of Treasury. He's also been a former Goldman Sachs partner. The Senior VP of Acquisitions and Development of the Trump Organization is David Orowitz. I used to work with a David Pelkovitz. And in my mission in France as a Latter-day Saint, back when my 20s, early 20s, 19 to 20, I met this Robert Cohen, a wonderful Jewish man from Paris. He had been vacationing in Antibes, French Riviera, where I was stationed. And by some miracle, he decided he was going to change his religion, and he became a Latter-day Saint. So you never know how God works. You never know. Another member of the Trump Economic Advisory Group is John A. Paulson. Richard Roberts is a member of the Israeli Advisory Committee for Trump. You know, I kind of doubt if there are any members who are not Jewish in that advisory committee. You think maybe? Oh. See, when you put me to the task, I lay it on thick, don't I? I go for the overkill, just to make my point. The executive VP and senior counsel for the Trump Organization is George Ross. Another member of the Trump Economic Advisory Group is Stephen Roth. Director of Security is Keith Schiller. Another vice chair for the Trump Victory Committee is Melvin Sumbler. And another vice chair of that committee is Ronald Weiser. The executive VP of the Trump Organization is Andrew Weiss. The executive VP and chief financial officer of the Trump Organization is Alan Weisselberg. Shall I keep going? I mean, you would have to be as thick as a brick, as thick as Mitt Romney, to believe that Trump is a racist after all this evidence. Okay, a few more here just for the road, okay? Carl Icahn, okay? Big supporter of Trump. Lawrence Weitzner, another advisor for Donald Trump for president. And here's the big one, okay? Mr. Trump himself may have some Jewish blood in him. He may be a German Jew. His great-grandmother was Catherine Kober, which is a Jewish name. I know what you're going to say. That doesn't count. He's too far removed from his great-grandmother. Now, if it was his mother being Jewish, that would be a different story. Okay. One more. Just to connect the dots here, okay? I want to leave no stone unturned. Make sure you understand there's a connection between him and the Jewish community. All right? One more. The Sanhedrin in Jerusalem want Donald Trump to build a third temple. At a time when the United Nations voted that Israel has no connection to the Temple Mount. I don't know why it's funny, but God has a sense of humor. Okay, still not enough evidence? You're still not convinced, okay? All right, I'm going to give you now all the names of the Jewish donors who contributed to the Trump Victory Fund. Okay, no, we'll leave that for some other time, okay? Because it's gonna take a while. Either way, I think Trump is a unifier. He is a patriot who understands that in this particular round, all right, if America doesn't come first, Israel will end up in the toilet. All right? America has a very bad cold, and Israel will soon catch a pneumonia, and it won't be from Hillary Clinton. But here's my question, okay? My question is, how come Soros, this Jew, this Nazi sympathizer who betrayed his people, how is it that Georgie Schwartz was not hanged by the Jewish-controlled ACLU, ADL, AIPAC? What am I missing here? Did he cut a deal? Are we seeing some good cop, bad cop theater here? I need to know. I need to know. Somebody please explain to me. Explain to me how come this guy is still a free man? Why is he bringing down America? Why is he funding riots? Who is this guy? The Soros disconnect really bothers me. The other question that I have, what are the geopolitical implications here? How will Mr. Trump in the presidency impact the Greater Israel Project? And since I'm an Israeli, okay, I'm of the tribe of Joseph through Ephraim, I have no problem with the Greater Israel, but, must we do it on the backs of Americans? Besides, I predict Greater Israel will only happen after Messiah appears to the Jews. And I predict this is why Trump was selected for the wind-up scenes. But, folks, here's what gets really dicey. Really, really dicey. Donald Trump also promised to reopen a 9/11 investigation. And that's why a lot of people hate him. You know, I'm going to explore the implications in the next episode here. I want you to mull it over a little bit, okay? For now, God bless America and Mr. Trump, and God bless Israel.